अब एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा है that when you are dependent upon wind, water, and all these insects to transfer your pollen grains to the stigma, the question is, does the stigma always receive the right type of pollen, or sometimes a wrong type of a pollen can also land on the stigma? And if a wrong type of a pollen lands on the stigma, does the stigma allow such a pollen to germinate? So if it's a totally unrelated species, how will the stigma react? Okay. So scientists have discovered that there is a chemical dialogue between the stigma and the pollen grains. And this chemical dialogue is called as the pollen pistil interaction. It's a chemical interaction that occurs between the stigma and the pollen grain. Like in this particular diagram, we have shown you a carpel of wheat receiving a pollen grain of mango and a pollen grain of wheat. So here, the first case, pollen grain of mango on a pollen grain of wheat, is the wrong type of pollen. There are certain alleles called S alleles which govern this chemical process. So now the stigma will recognize the pollen grain as foreign. Whereas on the right side, the carpel of wheat will recognize the carpel of the pollen grain of wheat as self. It will release certain chemicals, a sugary substance. The pollen grain will absorb the sugars, the intine will swell, come out of the germ pore to form a pollen tube, which will result in the germination of the pollen grain. And we'll say that the pollen pistil interaction has been accepted in the case of carpel of wheat and pollen of wheat. It has been rejected between carpel of wheat and the pollen grain of mango because in that case the stigma did not secrete a sugary solution, did not allow the pollen grain of mango to germinate. Okay, so we have to understand these mechanisms if we have to improve our agricultural yields, especially the crop improvement programs, where if it is a bisexual flower and if we want it to undergo cross pollination, we need to do its emasculation, that is, the removal of its stamen, followed by the bagging of the stigma so that it does not get pollinated by an unwanted pollen grain. We tag it, we write on that the date of pollination and the type of pollination. Okay, we rebag it so that uh, first of all we remove the bags, we put the desired pollen, rebag it, okay, so that again it does not get contaminated. So there's emasculation. If it's a bisexual flower, let me show you to it in this manner. It's a bisexual flower. So let me first remove its anther and then let me bag it so that it does not get dusted by unwanted pollen grain. I'll do the tagging and then so I know what is the type of pollination and when it is to be done and all that. When my pollen grains are ready, I'll remove the bag, I'll dust them with the desired pollen and rebag the whole thing again. So this is understanding all this has greatly improved our crop breeding programs.